Mr. President, you still have those biceps.
Has the president spoken to the mayor of East Palestine?
I don't have.
Does he have any plans?
I don't have a call to read out or a planned conversation. I can tell you, as I've mentioned before, the president has spoken to Governor.
He says he's not done. He's not finished what he started. And that's what's important. And I think, look at all that Joe has done, has accomplished. I mean,
there were people looking at each other. What's Divine Nine? And I thought to myself, you about to find out. Will you all please stand as she enters the room? Hello, everybody. You can clap. It's okay.
Mr. President, any reaction to Putin saying he's pulling out a restart?
I don't have time.
No time?
No. Big mistake.
To lower the cost for the people of our nation, because you are a leader, for working families, we have reduced heating and electricity bills. So folks have more money in their pocket to buy things like school supplies, replace the dishwasher, or take a family vacation.
Eggs used to be just cheap protein. Now it becomes almost a delicacy. We watch the price of milk rise and others. We want to make sure food is abundant, affordable, and that the farmer is there for the next generation to hand it on.
Yes, the president is certainly again staying updated on what is occurring on the ground, but also appreciative of the work that his multi-agencies have been doing.
The mayor of East Palestine said that it was a slap in the face that the president had gone to Ukraine before he went to East Palestine. Does the president have any reaction to those comments?
Look, I'll say this, and I kind of said this at the top already, which is, I laid out what we have done. The president has stayed updated on this for the past several weeks.
Has he expressed interest in or the intention to provide that kind of support to East Palestinians? Does he want to provide that support to
Of course, he's the president of the United States. Why you're seeing Secretary Buttigieg on the ground providing that support.
Does he not want to do it directly in
I think,
person?
but I think offering the assistance, offering the help, is doing it directly. When you're seeing the federal government on the ground providing the assistance that is needed, that is doing it directly. That's doing it. They're doing it on the direction of the president. That multi-agency, what we have been able to do over the past couple of weeks, that is because of the direction of the president. As you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that, President Biden. Whoa! That is news.
The president has been traveling the world pledging to help other countries solve their energy issues. The latest one was with Poland pledging to build power plants or help them build power plants. How come there's no pivot in energy policy here at home to help the inflation that we're seeing here?
Have you read the Inflation Reduction Act?
Still waiting.
The Inflation Reduction, the Inflation Reduction Act does just that. And the Inflation Reduction Act is so important because it deals with energy policy, lowering the cost. And we're seeing that his economic policy is working. The Inflation Reduction Act, not only that it does it lower, and that shows how fiscally responsible this president is. I got to keep going. Go ahead, April.
Next week, the student loan case is going to be before the Supreme Court. I'm wondering how confident is the administration feeling about its position on that case, and whether there's any sort of backup plan should the Supreme Court not be done.
We feel very confident in our legal process here.
What about the idea of any sort of backup plan?
Right now, we just feel very confident. We see this as an important policy that is going to help millions, tens of millions of Americans across the country who need it, who need that opportunity to start a family, who need that opportunity to buy a home. And so it is unfortunate to us that Republicans are out there, Republicans officials across the country are out there trying to stop something, trying to stop a policy.
On the search for Fed Vice Chair. How important is it to the president to name a woman or a person of color to that job?
The cabinet is majority people of color for the first time in history. The cabinet is majority female for the first time in history. A majority of White House senior staff identify as female. 40% of White House senior staff identify as part of the racially diverse communities. And a record 7 assistants to the president are openly LGBTQ+. So again, this is something that the president prides himself on.
Is this rule a recognition that the administration's early border strategy just isn't working? And is it realistic that President Biden's campaign promises to end all Trump-era immigration restrictions?
On day one, the president put forward a comprehensive immigration reform proposal. This is Congress needs to act. And what was happening currently right now is Congress is not acting. So what you're seeing from the Department of Homeland Security is they are using the tools that is being presented to them so that we can deal with this situation and do it in a safe and orderly and humane way. And that's what we're doing.